jumping in. Top of the hour. Welcome everyone to Live Limitless with Patrick Jones. He'll be on shortly. In the meantime, drop in the chat where you are logging in from. And I know he's going to be excited to see you all. So if you can turn your camera on, please do. It will mean a lot to him. And so we're going to get this started. All right, Reggie, are you here?
I am here.
Reggie, take it away.
Right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Limitless Workshop. My name is Reggie LaRoche, and I've had the pleasure of knowing Patrick Allen Jones over the past couple of years. We got to know each other actually before COVID, and through COVID, we kind of supported each other. Patrick is not only a friend, but a mentor. I would say that not only is he a transformational coach, he is absolutely someone that you just want to always have in your back pocket for just like inspiration and for like moving life to the next level. To say that he has transformed my life is an understatement. I can only say that not only has he saved my life, he has truly enhanced it. His unique insight into living an extraordinary life comes from breakdowns and breakthroughs that would honestly would break most people. Patrick is not only a transformational coach, he is a devout father of 4 beautiful children, the apple of his eye. He has sourced an amazing partner in Kendra, and he's a dog daddy to Yoda, who I call Jedi. So ready to be wowed, moved, and inspired by Mr. Patrick Allen Jones.
All right. Woo! Thank you, Reggie.
Most welcome.
Wow. Look at all you amazing people. I'm so honored that all of you came here tonight out of your busy schedules. This is the Limitless Workshop, Live Limitless. This is about the mastering the art of being yourself, being you, and taking the mask off and stepping into the most authentic version of you. And again, I'm honored that you're here. It means a lot to me. And we're going to start by playing a scene out of a movie. Here we go.
Worth the risk? What would you do?
All right, I must admit, I can't explain any of these thoughts racing through my brain.
Vern's cash, combined with an unprecedented surge of motivation, enabled me to finish the book in 4 days. A tablet a day, and what I could do with my day was limitless.
Yeah, so that was from the movie Limitless. How many of you seen the movie Limitless before? Just curious. Yeah, so a bunch of you. So what I want to do is I want to take a share. What did you notice? Anyone can share. Just go ahead and raise your hand. Anyone else, please on mute. What did you notice about the whole scene? Who would like to share it? Raise your hand.
He was able to accomplish a lot in a short period of time, but it looked like he was taking drugs to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And Austin, what did he have to do to feel or live limitless? What did you notice?
He needed it. It was like he needed something to do it. It was like his crutch.
Yeah. Yeah. And so if you notice, right, to feel limitless, to be limitless in that particular moment, it's taking something, right? It's numbing, right? Or taking something to feel limitless. But I want you to consider that limitless is available. It's a choice at any moment. And so in this workshop, we're going to create that to live a limitless life together. And that's what we're going to do here today. Who's down for that? Raise your hand. All right. So that's where we're going to go tonight. Now, the way we're going to get there is we're going to do some journaling. We're going to be doing some prompts where you'll journal different things, different exercises. I'll share my journey with you, my journey of what I've experienced over the last 15 years, and we'll do some shares. I'll ask for some shares. I might ask for you to drop in the chat, something to kind of get that engagement. But I want you to know that you're all welcome here. We're all at different stages in our journey of evolving, of growth and transformation. And some of you might be here for the first time. Some of you might actually have done some of this work, and you're welcome here. I just want you to know. So how many of you feel a little bit tired right now? Be honest, raise your hand. Just a little bit tired coming out of the day. A little bit, okay. And that's normal. 1 out of 10 in the chat. Where are you? Drop in the chat. 1 is you have a low energy. You're just kind of like getting through. And 10 is you got insane amounts of energy. Let's take a look at the chat where everybody's at. We got 7s, we got 6s, 8s, 4s, 6s, 9s. They're all coming through. 8s. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do something I like that is called the shift, move, release. And this is going to get us moving, shaking our bodies for 30 seconds to break up our day. That's what we're going to do, and just shake it off. All right, so pull up the slide, and I'm going to show you the 3 movements. Shift move number 1. If you're a squat kind of person, you want to go up and down, cool. If you are jumping jacks, you want to do some jumping jacks. And if you just go ahead and want to do punching in the air and sit around, that's okay too. So we're going to do 30 seconds. Does everybody slide down? Does everybody have their movement? Yes. All right. So we're going to put music on, and we're going to shake it out. We're going to have fun. We're going to let it all go, and we're going to get connected to each other here tonight. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Check it out. There you go. Shake it out. Let it go. Let your day go. Whatever you got to let go of to get here tonight, just let it go. Woo. Yes. Let it go. Whatever it looks like, just let it go. Release it. Allow yourself to just move your body, let it go, shake out the day. And there we go. Great job, everybody. Round of applause. Give yourself a round of applause. And I'm going to ask to call Unstoppable Tracy. How do you feel right now after moving?
Oh my gosh, I'm like uplifted, I'm energized, I'm pumped, I'm ready to take it on.
Yeah. And just notice that just took, what, 30 seconds to do that?
Yeah, I was one of the low numbers. I was like a 4 or 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
This is
awesome,
available
Patrick.
anytime,
Yeah.
just to move your body. Yeah. So what we're going to do to create a safe container here, we're going to run through some ground rules so that we all can grow together. So we'll pull up a slide. We'll go through some ground rules here. So this is the seeing to be seeing rule. So what I would request is that you keep your camera on. It helps others feel heard and seen. And what I want to let you know, this is very important. You see that recording button down there. I promise you that is just for my mentor feedback between myself and my mentor. And this will not be shared with anybody. It is confidential, and what's said here will remain here. The second rule is the jot it down rule. Take some notes. Make sure you have a pen and piece of paper with you. If you don't have one, get one now, as we're going to be doing some journaling along the way. The third rule is I got to go rule. Listen, if you got to use the bathroom, take a bath break, grab some water, that's fine. You got to go, you got to go. The stick it out rule commit to staying here the entire workshop. We are going to be going on a journey together. And this journey, it's going to go in all different directions. You're going to leave here with so many different tools and gifts and experiences that you can bring to your personal life, to your business, that I promise you, if you stay the whole time, you will get more than you thought you would coming out of this workshop. So staying for the whole time. Now, the golden rule. Participate and raise your hand if you want to share. So if you want to share, there's a digital hand. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you'll stay muted, but if you want to share, click the digital hand and I will pull you up on screen and call you forth. And if you want to support others, because I know some of you here, if you heard something that you can relate to, feel free to drop in the chat what that is, whatever you can relate to, or let's all practice this real quick. These are what I call jazz hands. Yes, if you want to acknowledge somebody, just do that. And the have fun rule. And slide down. This is about having fun. Like transformations is fun. Growth is fun. Like it doesn't have to look a certain way. And by us stepping to being limitless and living limitless, it's letting go of what it's supposed to look like. And so can we all commit to all the ground rules here tonight? Raise your hand. All right. Excellent. Now, I want to share more about who I am. I've been on my own journey over the last 15 years, my own personal development journey. I'm a father. I'm a proud father of 4 beautiful children. I'd love to put the slide up of my children. This is my son, Lucas, my daughter, Lorelai. I've got twins that are 8, and my boy, Jacob. And that's me. This was actually my son's first communion about 3 weeks ago. And I'm a proud father. You can take the slide down. I am a divorced man. I've been divorced a few years. I'm in a happy relationship. I am also a coach for the last 20 years. I'm an author of a book called For the Win. And I'm also I'm a world traveler. I was in Egypt a few weeks ago. And I swam with sharks. Can I tell you guys about it? Okay. So I swam with sharks 2016. I was at a point in my life where I was rebuilding my health, a story I'll tell you about later. And I remember I didn't want to go do this triathlon. It was the hardest triathlon in the world. It was a half Ironman. And I remember I didn't want to do it. I was scared. And I decided to do it anyway, hired a coach, brought my bike there. I just went for it. And I got there. And when I got there, we drove and I looked to the right and I saw the mile swim right there, right next to me. Like I was excited, I was happy. And then I asked the taxi driver said to me, oh, there's a whole nest of great white sharks there, right where I was swimming the mile swim. In that moment, I freaked out. I was scared, and all of a sudden, fear got to me. And I didn't know if I could do it. And I remember I got in the water, and I was in there, and I swam as fast as I possibly could in that moment in fear, but I did it. So how many of you have a time in your life where you wanted to do something? You wanted to do something, but fear stopped you. Show of hands. Okay, so a lot of you. Now, who would like to share? Raise your hand. A time in your life where you wanted to do something, but fear stopped you and got in the way. Who would like to share? Vicky, I see you down there. Go ahead and unmute yourself. We'd love to hear from you.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, hi. I had a terrible fear of public speaking, and I would go to weddings and funerals, and I could not get up and say what I wanted to share with the people in the audience. It didn't matter if I knew them or I didn't know them. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. And what was the biggest thing that stopped you in terms of your mindset? Like what story came up that showed up that stopped you?
I think it was a fear of judgment. I've never been able to really pinpoint what it is, but I think that's what it was judgment.
Judgment. Okay. Yeah. And how did you feel in that moment when you were in that place?
I couldn't even articulate. I couldn't get the words to come out of my mouth at all. I was frozen inside. I was frozen. I couldn't even move to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing. I appreciate you sharing. So drop in the chat. What does limitless mean to you? Let's start with that. So everyone drop in the chat. Let's see cumulatively as a group where everyone's at, what limitless means to you. And we'll take a look here. Not fear, no fear, being unstoppable, being courageous without fear, pushing through. Limitless means no boundaries, infinite possibility. Wow, all these are amazing. Yeah. And so let me ask you this, what gets in the way? I want to see as a group where we're at, what gets in the way of you feeling limitless? Well, what actually gets in the way? Mind, anxiety, I get in my own way, no boundaries, me, judgment, me, rejection, scarcity. Yeah. Wow. So thank you all for sharing. So we see what this is limitless, and these are the things that get in the way. And what I like to do is I want to share a time in my life where I did not feel limitless. I felt shame. I felt unworthiness. I felt all alone. I had a 15-year battle with an eating disorder. And I hated myself. I lived in shame. I was hiding everywhere and nobody knew. And I knew I wanted to change. The hardest thing was battling the inner demons and the thoughts that said, keep eating. It's the only place I knew that was comfortable for me was when I was eating, and that's where I was happy. I'm going to share a picture of me, of my journey. So go ahead and pop that up. That's me. I lived in self-doubt, self-hate, and I had very low self-worth. I want to show you a video as well on top of this to paint a little more context.
I'm now 250 pounds. So all this weight is going to be gone. 250 pounds. I'm a pregnant man, and my wife had the baby. 47-inch waist by now. March 9th, 2009. Today's date. See you next time. My weight will be gone.
Hey, what's going on? It's Patrick, and well, that guy that you just
You can tell the video.
See, back in 2000. Yeah, I share that with you because I'm on this journey with you. I want you to know that we all are capable of living limitless. And I lost the same 100 pounds 10 times in my life. I didn't feel limitless because I didn't choose limitless. And I'd love to hear somebody here a time in their life where they felt completely controlled by an unhealthy, destructive pattern. I would love to hear a share. Who would like to share a time in their life that they feel trapped because of an unhealthy pattern? Who would like to share? Miro, I'd love to hear from you. Come off mute, buddy.
Awesome. What's up, Patrick? Yeah, what feels real and relevant for me right now is I also went through divorce in 2018, and at the time my son was 2, Elliot, now he's 8. My partner at the time, my ex, I like to call her my son's mom. She had bipolar disorder and narcissism and chronic depression. So she would she just, no matter what, she wasn't going to be happy. And I did everything in my power to make her happy. So it was a very not rewarding dynamic. And so at the worst of it, you know, like I would work so hard and try to make everything work, and nothing was ever enough. And so that was very triggering for me. And so it was deteriorating my confidence and my doubt. And so what would make things worse is that literally it got so bad that one night So she had suicidal thoughts regularly, but she also had homicidal thoughts. And so what that meant for me is I would literally go to bed at night, sleeping next to her, thinking she was going to stab me in my sleep. And so our sort of divorce and process was the most painful and hardest time of my life. And that was in 2018. So now I'm, blessed. I'm with the love of my life, and like, there's a lot of beautiful things in my life that have happened since then. And, that journey is still, I'm still co-parenting with this woman, and it's definitely one of the most sort of painful moments that I can relate with, your journey in terms of being limited. I had a lack of self-worth, a lack of self-respect. I was willing to sacrifice my literally everything for her to be happy. So.
Who else can relate to Meryl of having a lack of self-worth and and respect? Raise your hand. Yeah. In any relationship. Yeah. So Meryl, you're not alone. Like, we're all here in our journey, and these limitations, they get in the way of what we want, and we stay stuck in them. We stay limited because we believe them. We get comfortable. And so I'm going to open up a slide and just share a little bit more about these limitations that block us, that stop us, that get in the way from living limitless. So we'll pop up on this slide. I call them mental emotional limitations: fear, doubt, procrastination, distraction, overthinking, self-sabotage. If you can relate to any of these showing up right now inside of your life or in the past, drop it in the chat. We want to hear, this is the real deal. This is it. These show up. They show up for me. They show up for everybody in some way, shape, or form. But which ones are the biggest? What are the ones that show up in your life, your relationships? You can drop the slide into the next slide. Self-sabotage, imposter syndrome, self-doubt. Yeah. So we're all here as a collective, seeing and recognizing these limitations. And what happens? Comfort zone. We get in that comfort zone. And we go into like growth in one area of life. It's like, oh, my health is on fire. My body's on fire. But all of a sudden we're like at a 1 in our financial. We have no money in our bank account. But this is on fire because there's these limitations that block us from living a limitless life and being abundant everywhere and anywhere. And go ahead and take the slides off. So what I want to do, I'm going to do a little bit of an icebreaker. Who here is the first time you've actually been in a breakout room? Show of hands. Okay, so we have a few of you. Now, we're going to go through breakout rooms. And inside the breakout rooms, we're going to share for 5 minutes. Now, we're going to break out to 3 people, and you're going to share what your name, where you're from, and what limitless means to you. And for you personally, what gets in the way of you feeling limitless or having results that mean limitless to you inside your life? Now, I'm going to call the elephant out in the room. Who's scared shitless to go in a breakout room? Raise your hand if that's you, and that's okay. All right, so who's been scared to go to a breakout room before for the first time? Anybody here? Okay, so there's somebody. Awesome. So you are in a safe container, a safe place. We love you, and we'll see you back in 5 minutes in the breakout rooms. We'll see you in 5 minutes. Oh, can't hear. There we go. Hello. Hi.
Are we going to a breakout room, Azadeh?
Oh my gosh.
How you
Made it through
feel?
the contact set. Okay.
I missed
No,
it.
please. Hang on, Patrick. There's a bunch of people still in this room.
Yes, I'll hold.
Oh, Brandon. Hello, Brandon. I know Brandon.
And
Okay. Hold on a moment.
make sure Azadeh, Marty needs to be in this breakout room with us. She's the mentor of record.
Okay.
And she just put a message in there saying that she's off camera and now in a breakout room with the participant. Can someone move him? I think you get to move her into the room with us.
Okay. I quickly made the breakout rooms and I missed that. I will check.
All right.
Are we making another breakout room? I see a couple people here. Hi, Mary Ellen. Did you accept there's a breakout room?
Azadeh, do you want me to join breakout room 27?
Yes, please.
Hello. Can anyone hear me in this session?
Mary Ellen.
Hi, Mary Ellen. I'm Rochelle.
Okay. I will take you to a breakout room.
Oh, I dropped the call by accident. Yes. Okay.
So on bottom of your screen, there is a breakout room. If you click on that, you will move to your breakout room.
Where do I find that?
Bottom
I don't see any. I just see participants more. Do I click on more?
No, on breakout rooms.
Oh, there isn't anything like that on the bottom of my screen. It popped up, but I lost the connection. That's okay.
I get to look to see which. There is a breakout room on the bottom of your screen. If you click on that, you will go to your room. If you cannot find it, please wait for 5 minutes and we all will be back. Okay? Okay, good.
Is this the breakout room that I'm in? I got dropped off.
No, this is the main session again.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, we are back. We were just in breakout rooms. What I love to do is take a share. What opened up for you? Someone that would like to share, go ahead and raise your digital hand. What opened up for you inside the breakout room by talking, by sharing, and connecting with other people? Love to hear from you. Let's see.
Okay, Patrick, we got Elizabeth with her hand up.
Okay, thank you. There's a lot of hands here. Okay. Elizabeth, come on up. We'd love to hear from you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so the questions were, what does limitless mean to you and what are your limitations? So I guess something that you realize in the breakout groups is a lot of people have similar limitations to you, whether you know it or not. So people have similar fears or self-doubt or lack of self-worth. So it's not just you, a lot of other people feel the same way.
Yeah. And what did that open up for you? Like what did that create inside of you that from hearing that from other people?
What did that create inside of me?
Yeah.
Maybe
what feelings showed up for you?
maybe more like it makes you almost feel more confident that you know, you're not the only one feeling this fear. So you're like, all right, you know, I can do this, or whatever's, you know, limiting you. You're like, okay, there's other people that are on my side that feel for me. So it makes you maybe feel a little more confident, or makes me feel a little more confident.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is it makes you feel that you're not alone.
Yes, that you're not alone.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing, jazz hands. Who else would like to share? What opened up for them? What came up for you? Who would like to share? And we'll take another share inside the breakout rooms. Let's see. I cannot see. Yeah, I'm not able to see the hand. So let's just raise the hands. Okay.
Maya has her hand raised.
Okay. Come on up. We'd love to hear from you.
Hi. It was really beautiful talking to Scott, and he said something about living limitless life is like living as a 4-year-old wearing a superhero costume. And that really resonated with me and reminded me of how pure we're born with no limits until they are instilled on us by parents, society, or ourselves when we face a challenge. And so that really brought me back to that childlike essence and reminded me that I am limitless in spirit and in anything. And I mentioned in our conversation that we are divine spirit, and if we are, so we are limitless as divine is. So it's up to us. It's up to me to remember that every time I feel limited in anything that I'm trying to accomplish.
Yeah, I'm hearing that, just that powerfully choosing limitless, like reminding yourself that inner child when you're younger is like, you get to choose limitless. You get to be that. You don't have to wait until X happens. Like, it's a choice, but it's also getting in touch with when you were a child. That's who you are by nature. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Well, I'd love to take one more share. Who would like to share what opened up for them, what they learned about themselves? Who would love to share? We'll take.
Miro has his hand up.
Okay, Miro, come on up. Love to hear from you.
Of course, I can go anytime. Actually, what's interesting is, in terms of what's preventing me from being limitless, was like the people pleasing and self-worth issues. And I've noticed how connected the two are, because what limitless means to me is not only being able to focus out and serving others and being a contribution, also to just choose what I actually want without having to justify it, negotiate it, or without hesitation, essentially. And so those are interesting insights. That's really both. It's about choosing me, what I want, and being able to be of service without any internal limitations.
Yeah, yeah. And what did you recognize between both Like this sounds like a new distinction for you, right?
Yes.
It sounds like it's
So,
the what it means to you versus how, like the limitation. Like tell me more about that correlation. I'd love to hear more about that.
yeah. So I recognize that when I'm in my worth 100%, like I'm infinitely worthy because I'm divine by design, then people pleasing and all this other stuff doesn't coexist. So this people pleasing is a byproduct of lack of self-worth. And so that also means the opposite is true. When I'm in my creator power and who I really am, then no limit.
Yeah. Can anyone else relate to Miro, what he's saying? Go ahead and raise your hand. Yeah. So we can see a lot of people relate to what you're sharing. Miro, thanks for coming back up again and sharing. Appreciate it.
Anytime.
Yeah. We'll take one more share. Who has not shared yet that would like to share what opened up for them by going to breakout rooms and connecting? Who would like to share? And I'll request support for anyone that's raised hands, as I cannot see raised hands.
Brian Limas.
All right. Yes. Brian, come on up. We'd love to hear from you.
Hey, what's up? What's up, guys? No, I think it's thank you, Patrick, for
Hey, Brian. Good to see you. Yeah.
Good to see you. And yeah, no, I think just like the self-sabotage, having to like really realize that it's always a lie that, you know, something good's happening, so then something around the corner just this is gonna knock me down, or I have to prepare, I have to get ready to be worthy again, to hit that milestone again. You know, and so it's just yeah, so it's kind of like those limiting that puts that limitless away, because if it really was limitless, then you wouldn't have that self-sabotage, you know. So
yeah, so I'm hearing self-sabotage. Is this something you've known for a time, or you've had show up in your life for quite a while?
yeah, no, I think it's like in relationships, it's in business partnerships, it's been in certain things of when things are going well, then all of a sudden it's like, okay, well then prepare for when it's not going to go well, right? Like then you start looking for like I would start looking, not necessarily looking, but just being more hyper aware of like when someone didn't achieve or like didn't come through, and then like it's like, you know, it's taking stock of this like, you know, this report, this internal grade report for them, but it's actually self-sabotage, because you wouldn't be taking stock of that as much intensely if you really were allowing yourself to be vulnerable and trust and live limitless.
Yeah. Self-sabotage is like I am the biggest self-sabotager in the world, meaning I knew how to do it every single day, like I shared in my story, but you're not alone. I mean, drop in the chat, what are all the ways that you sabotage yourself? Brian talked about self-sabotage, and we want to hear, like, what are all the ways right now that you self-sabotage? Let's take a look what we have here, or in the past, if you want to go to the past, what are the ways we do things to get in our own way? Perfectionism. We've got over-prepping, overthinking, waiting, food, self-doubt, procrastination. Yeah, all these things. These are, Brian, like, you're not alone. This is the human being nature. So it is probably, in my opinion, the biggest limitation is that self-beat up, self-sabotage. You know, that's what kept me where I was, you know. So I appreciate you sharing. I appreciate you coming on here and sharing tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah. Wow. So we've talked about limitless and what it means to you and what gets in the way of being limitless. And that's what we're here for. And I want to talk about vulnerability. Something I struggle with for most of my life. I didn't even know what the word meant, because vulnerability is the first step, the path to living limitless. It's about being vulnerable. And I want to share a time in my life where I struggled with vulnerability, but I embraced it. Any of you here are fathers or mothers? Raise your hand. Okay, so we got, wow, nice, a lot of people with fathers and mothers. And has anyone here ever been in a relationship before that you knew wasn't working? Like it was just painful to be in, but you stayed in it. Maybe you're in it now, maybe you're in the past. Has anyone been in a relationship that they know was not working? Raise your hand. Yeah. That was me with my 14-year-old son His name is Lucas. He hated his father. He didn't want to be with me. This was post-divorce. And I felt rejected. I felt hurt. And he told me the words, "Dad, I never want to go with you again." And imagine a kid telling his father, "I never want to go with you again." How many of you here have been rejected in a relationship in their life and told, "I don't want to go with you again," or "You don't bother me," and been talked to and been in a painful spot before? Raise your hand. Yeah. I doubted myself as a father. I didn't know what to do. It was challenging. And I realized I was showing up a certain way, a way I thought a parent should show up, the way I thought I should be. But the way I was showing up was not from vulnerability. It was from control. Who can relate to that? Raise your hand. Show of hands. Yeah. So I want to share with you a picture of my son. This is him. His name is Lucas. This was a few weeks back, and I'm proud to be his father. You can take a slide down. What I want to share, in the painful moments I had to shift me. And it took embracing vulnerability and giving him the space to feel seen, to see him, to shift into love, to shift into allowing space for emotions. It was not easy. But I learned in that moment that vulnerability was my superpower. Like, I allowed it to just embrace me, and in that moment. And who here has a time in their life where they struggled to connect emotionally with another person? Maybe it's in a relationship and you struggle with vulnerability. A show of hands. Yeah, there's a good amount of you here. We'd love to hear share your story with us. We'd love to hear from you. A time in your life when you struggle with vulnerability. Who would like to share? And if you want to raise your hand this way, that way I can see it.
Darren Maddox would love to share.
Darren, I'd love to hear from you. Come on up.
Hey, how's it going, fam? A time in my life where I had trouble being vulnerable. It's my current relationship. I was having trouble being vulnerable with her children. It came from a previous relationship where I had basically took on the daughter as a stepdaughter, as like my own daughter, and had that relationship stripped away from me out of pettiness and just pure vindictiveness. So that really hurt me, and it shut me down to the possibility of taking on another child as a stepchild, in a sense. I mean, I have 4 children of my own, and wanting to open myself up to the possibility of embracing another child was practically impossible for 90% of our relationship, I would say, until currently, which I'm happy to say that we're bonding now, but it's still like a shaky process for me, because I always feel like the rug can be stripped out at any moment, you know, and that level of pain is just something I don't want to go through ever again.
Yeah. What did you feel in that moment? All
Hurt.
those moments.
Yeah. Betrayal, ultimate betrayal. I felt stupid because I took my walls down. Like I opened myself up to something, and it, just like I thought it would, I got hurt. Told myself played all the hits. See, this is why I'm not vulnerable. This is why I don't let my guard down. But I also realized I was shutting myself off from, a wonderful opportunity to receive love and to open myself up to giving it out also to people who may in fact need it. They don't have a father in their life, and I didn't get to raise my son. So here it is, an opportunity for both of us to bridge those gaps that we've both been yearning for. And I almost almost didn't take it, you know?
Yeah. And what did it take for you to step into embracing vulnerability? What did it take from you?
Whew, man, courage, for one. I definitely have to shift my way of being. I had to be fearless, which I guess courage and fearless are kind of the same thing, but and I had to be open. And of course, since we're on the topic of it, vulnerable.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I acknowledge you for stepping into that and really being courageous. And I know that's what it took. And I honor you for that, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I acknowledge you for bringing us all together.
Thank you for sharing. We'll take another share. Who would like to share a time in their life when they struggle with being vulnerable in any relationship? Who would like to share? Just go ahead and raise your hand. And we'll do this so I can see you. Jaden, did I see your hand up? Come off mute. We'd love to hear from you.
Hi, how you going?
Hi, Jaden.
Yeah, so I lost my dad about 3-4 years ago, and I've struggled with vulnerability. I can't even say it now. Vulnerability since he passed away, and I've kind of just taken on everything on my shoulders for the past 3 to 4 years, trying to be the father of the house. And it's taken a toll to see life change in front of me and the world change in front of me. But I've tried to go my own way, and I still feel like on the outside I'm a completely different person, but on the inside I'm still facing a lot of internal insecurities, and I'm just trying to work through them day by day.
Mm-hmm. And what feelings are you experiencing from kind of what you're going through right
now? Fear, self-doubt, procrastination, self-sabotage. They're the big key sort of elements to my drive into sort of becoming a better person.
And these struggles with what you're sharing about self-sabotage, how is that particularly, like, what's the cost of that in your life right now? What's the impact for you at the moment?
I just feel like I'm never doing enough as a person, and I've always got to be better than everyone else, and I don't want that view of the world. I want to work with the world, and that's my passion.
I want to hear more about that. What do you want? Like, what do you ultimately want? There's the joy in the face. Look at that. What do you want, right? Because that's all that matters. What do you want?
I just want to live in peace. I just feel like I'm always at war with myself as a person, and I see in different parts of the world what key areas have been improving, and the world is changing for the better, and I do sense that, and I'm all ears and I'm all in for it. But I don't think everyone may not be on that same page yet, but we're all working together to help each other, and that's why I'm here, and I want to be there for the world.
Yeah, Jaden, I hear you want peace, and I want to invite you to stay on for the rest of this time tonight, because we're going to create an experience coming up very soon where you're gonna create your limitless life, and everything that you want inside your life. You're going to write it all down, and it's going to be beautiful, and it's going to be amazing. So I look forward to seeing you over the next hour together.
Thank you, Patrick.
Be great.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Great to talk to you. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Yeah. Woo. Thank you for sharing. We will jump into a slide with a quote about vulnerability. Being vulnerable, it means to show up and be seen, to ask for what you need, to talk about how you're feeling, to have the hard conversations. What does vulnerability mean to you? Slide down. What does vulnerability mean to you? Drop in the chat. What does it mean to you? When you think of vulnerability, what does it feel like? What does it look like to you? Let's see what everyone's perspective on vulnerability is. Being authentic. Yeah, let's give some hands to Jaden here. Yeah, let's give Jaden. Thank you for being vulnerable, and you're courageous to share in front of everyone tonight. So vulnerability, sometimes scary. It means no filtering, no masks. It means asking for what you want, resonates. Yeah. So that quote, who would like to share what comes up for them after seeing that quote? Who would like to share? You can take yourself off mute. We will do raise of hands. We got Scott McKenzie, my man Scott, come on up. Love to hear from you. What comes up when you see that quote?
Yeah, I think the last line that says having the hard conversations, right? That is the big one. And for me, I hid a lot, and was for the longest time with my wife, was afraid to have and to be a man who could collide in a positive way, right? And actually have those hard conversations. And I lived a life of avoidance of problems. And to me, that was the vulnerability part for me meant that I was going to be exposed for what I wasn't doing. So those are the biggest things that come up for me.
Yeah. And what were you afraid? And I know your story a little bit. You and I had a little bit of history, but what was in the way of you being vulnerable? Like, what was the struggle?
For me, it was I felt like I wasn't living up to who I thought I should be, and the man that she wanted me to be, and the man that I wanted to be, right? And so for me, it was a lot of that was just smoke screens, to put up this false facade of who it was I thought it was.
Yeah. So I'm hearing false facade. Yeah. Anyone else relate? Drop in the chat if you can relate to Scott about putting a false facade on. Because Scott, brother, you're not alone, and you know that. So I appreciate you sharing, Scott, and being vulnerable.
Thanks, Ben. Thanks, brother.
You got it. Yeah. So let's jump in the chat. We see I can relate. We got many people that can relate here. So here's the interesting thing, right? We numb vulnerability. Right? There's ways that we numb vulnerability, right? We all numb it in certain different ways in our life. It's like we don't want to feel certain emotion. I know for me, I had to learn what happy was. I had to learn what sad was. I had to learn, but here's the problem that I discovered. I was learning from an intellectual place, and I wasn't learning from actually being those emotions. I wasn't being those emotions. It's like, oh, how do I be joy? Right? It's like it's a doing thing. I have to do to be joy. In order to be happy, it's a thing I have to do. But I discovered it's a way of being. It's being happy in the moment. It's being happy now. It's choosing happy now. How many of you can relate to thinking like you have to be happy in the future when you accomplish something? Can anyone relate? Show of hands. Okay. Yeah. And so I want to share another slide with you. We'll drop the second slide on vulnerability. This is my favorite. I actually just put this one together this morning. So Brene Brown, she's amazing. She's amazing. Raise your hand if you know Brene Brown. If you've seen her TED Talk or seen her story or anything about her. Yeah. So these are all her quotes. We numb vulnerability. The problem is you can't selectively numb an emotion, shame, grief, and fear, without numbing the other emotions. Wow. When we numb those feelings, we numb joy, we numb happiness and truth and courage. Aren't always comfortable, but they're never a weakness. Slide down. That's it. And Scott, thank you for sharing, because it's the facade that we put on when we're feeling a certain emotion or that we don't allow ourselves to feel, or we're not honest on where we actually are with ourselves and how we're showing up in our life. Then we put that facade on. We put that mask on. And we're here to drop the mask, because being limitless and living limitless is about being your true authentic self. And it starts with being honest. How many of you have a place in your life right now that you know you are not being honest right now? Raise your hand in your home, in your relationships, that you're not being honest somewhere with yourself. Yeah, maybe it's your health, maybe it's self-care. Okay, so we have some people here. So we're going to go through an exercise. This is our first exercise. It's called the Freedom Through Vulnerability exercise. Whenever I had a challenge in my life, morbid obesity, eating disorder, marriage that wasn't working the way I wanted, it's because I had to get clear on what wasn't working and be honest. And it took courage. It took massive honesty of myself, and it was difficult. But by me going there, it allowed me to see something different and change and shift. And so freedom through vulnerability, this exercise, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have 4 prompts, 2 minutes each. Now I'm going to guide you through this. You're going to hear my voice. There'll be some music. Everyone have their pen and journal. Go ahead and put it on the camera. Let me see that pen and journal. Yes. All right. So we got pen and journal. Yes. So we're going to do 2 minutes. We'll have some music. You're going to journal what comes from your heart, not your head, your heart. I've got some music to get you in that state. And guess what? This is for you. Like, this isn't for me. This is for you. Because vulnerability is your superpower if you allow it to be. So we're going to cue the music. You hear my voice. And I ask you to close your eyes. Close your eyes. And take a moment to connect with your breath. Maybe this is the first time you've ever connected with your breath. And that's okay. Breathe in through your nose and exhale slowly through your mouth. Feel the tension in your body release as you continue to breathe deeply. Now let your awareness settle into your heart space. And imagine your heart opening up, embracing vulnerability, and allowing yourself to be fully present in this moment. And as we embark on this journey of self-reflection, in a moment, I will guide you through a series of 4 journal prompts that you will write down. Just allow yourself to freely write what comes up for you until the next journal prompt. Through the process, you may experience some emotion surfacing, and that is okay. This journaling, like I said earlier, is for you. Allow them to come up, flow through you naturally. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out your mouth. And a nice deep breath in through your nose again. And a release. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes, grab that pen and piece of paper handy next to you. And I'm going to share the first journal prompt. Whatever comes up for you, go ahead and write. Where am I avoiding vulnerability and not being honest with myself or others in my life? Where is that place? Where am I numbing vulnerability, avoiding vulnerability? Where am I not honest with myself? What part of my life? With who? With others? Where am I struggling with vulnerability? Where am I, if I'm really honest with myself, where am I avoiding a conversation, avoiding vulnerability, emotions with who and where? And we'll move to question 2. And by me avoiding vulnerability in these areas, this specific area, or with this specific person, the negative consequences that I'm experiencing right now are, what are those consequences? The cost in your relationship, in your health, your financial situation, by being, by us, vulnerability in this specific area that you just wrote down in question 1. What are the negative consequences are showing up right now in your life? You're doing a great job. Just allow it to come out of your heart. This is for you. That's it. Question number 3. From what you wrote down, what is the biggest limitations that are showing up right now that stops me from being honest and being vulnerable? Is it fear? What about the fear? Not just the limitation. What's stopping you? What mental limitation that we covered earlier? What emotional limitation? What emotions are blocking you from being vulnerable? What does that look like? What does that feel like? Right from your heart. Allow yourself to go there. And we'll go to the final question. If I embrace vulnerability, the biggest positive impact it would make in my life, if in this specific place that you journaled over the last 3 prompts, you embrace vulnerability here, what would be different? What would that look like? What's the biggest positive impact it would make in your life? Share from your heart. That's it. Great job. And we will take down the slide. Well done, everybody. Acknowledge you for whatever you wrote. It's for you. And we'd love to take a few shares. What you wrote down, what comes up for you. Anyone would like to share? Please raise your hand. Justin, love to hear from you.
Yeah, thanks, Patrick. Thanks for having me here. And so this was hard. This is actually a little harder than I thought it was going to be. But what I found out I'm not being vulnerable about, I'm not talking to people about, is the fact that I'm wasting a massive amount of time and procrastinating and doing things that I shouldn't be doing, instead of working, instead of being productive, instead of, doing other things. Looking at social media, I'm on TikTok, I'm on other things to distract myself and sedate myself, and then have this mad rush at the end of the day. And then I go out and lie. And I tell people I'm so busy. I'm working so hard. I'm trying so, and it's gotten worse and worse and worse. And I think the block is that I'm ashamed. I feel guilty. I feel like I'm letting my family down. I feel like I'm letting myself down. I feel like I'm taking advantage of people and my company and my responsibilities. And I always feel like I'm going to do better tomorrow. And I don't. And I'm just ashamed of it. So I feel like I can't talk to people about it because they would judge me and they would think I'm not this hardworking, disciplined person that I project myself to be. And, that's a difficult thing to kind of come to terms with. If that stopped, if I could address it, I think the biggest thing, I feel better about myself. I wouldn't have this shame and guilt every day about, what I did today. And did I really work all day? No, didn't. So, yeah.
Wow, Justin, thank you for sharing. What did doing this? Because I'm hearing you is that you did the exercise, and I agree. Powerful questions. If you really write them down and you're honest, like they have the power to create a different perspective shift. What shift did this create in you so you could create something new moving forward? Like, what's the shift it created? The powerful shift for you.
The shift, the moment it kind of hit me is like, so I wrote down my first list, and my first list was shit. It was like, I'm blaming other people. I'm like, I need to be more vulnerable with my wife about what she does wrong. I need to be more vulnerable with my kids about how they're doing stuff wrong. Everything was everybody else. But it wasn't until I was like, what am I not being honest with myself about me? And it's like, and then I wrote something else down. It was stupid. It was like, oh, I'm being dishonest about my lack of money or something. And I was like, no, dude, like be here. Like, what are you lying about? Like, what are you not being vulnerable about? And I was like, I haven't talked to anybody about this obsession I have with just wasting time. And then 3 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock, it's like this panic of like, I gotta get, and then I see my kids, I see my wife in the evening, and I'm just ashamed. I'm like, I didn't do shit today. And that it's
so Justin, I hear the shame, I hear what's showing up at nighttime with the kids. What would be possible for you in your life if you surrendered into vulnerability? What would be possible for you?
I think I might be able to curb it. I might be able to shift it, change it, stop. want to stop. I don't know. Every day I tell myself I'm going to, and I don't.
And what's that limitation that's in the way? Like what's that belief that's showing up for you? Like if you just nail that belief, what is it?
That I'll want to do it. I have this warped story that like somehow, some way, I'm going to be like, I'm going to wake up tomorrow, and because the stars aligned and everything's perfect, I feel like working all day and working really hard. And then when one little thing happens or one little thing, I'm like, oh, let me grab my phone and, you know, just sedate. I mean, it is just sedation.
Yeah.
It's easier. That's what I'm doing. I'm looking for something comfortable. I don't want to do the hard shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do the stuff I don't want to do. So, I mean, I'm acting like a little kid, I guess.
Brother, like I'm proud of your vulnerability here, sharing in front of, what are we at? 80 people on right now?
Well, don't tell me that now. Come on now.
I didn't even know that. I just looked at the numbers here. Listen, by you just like owning that, man, like that's amazing. That's courageous. That's inspirational.
Well, I like I said, I mean, I think it was the first two passes. If you looked at what I wrote down,
yeah,
it was that I'm going to be here and I'm just going to be honest. And I'm just going to,
and
this is who I am.
You shifted, you rewrote some of the journal, and you rewrote brutally honest to where you're at. So thank you. Thank you for coming on and sharing. How many of you else here, and we'll jump back to the main chat here. How many of else here, there we go, I see you, buddy, struggle to be brutally honest with themselves on that? Raise your hand. Brutally honest with writing down what the vulnerability was. Yeah, so we have a lot of you here that was just struggle with being honest and where you're at. It's like that one thing that's like, if we just told someone the truth, right? It's scary. It's scary if we just told the truth. And so I'm going to pose a question on you. Like, what if it was possible inside your life, there were no limits? No limits. What would be possible if there was no mental limitations, no emotional limitations? What would be possible for you? Like those dreams that you had as a child of wanting to be a pilot, want to also have like a, 5 houses. You want to have, you want to be married, you want to have kids, you want to have this job, that job, you want to be a comedian, you want to do this. Like anything's possible if there's no limits, isn't it? Yeah. So write in the chat, what is possible for you? If whatever was stopping you when we started this today that you got clear on, what would be possible for you inside your life? Drop it in the chat. Think big. Let's go big. What's actually possible? And the chat. Let's see here. Anything would be possible. Yeah, anything would be possible. What is actually possible? Everything. Millionaire. Look at that. Dreams. Peace of mind. I'd be touring a public speaker in high demand. If there were no limits, what is possible? Drop it in the chat, y'all. Business, health, complete happiness, more travel, clarity, happiness, connection, because this is where we're going. This is where we're going tonight of what's possible. What is actually possible if there were no limits? So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to share a story with you. Who knows Steve Harvey? Show of hands. All right. I had no idea who he was until 2020, when I just filed divorce. I found myself broken. I left my kids. I found myself homeless. It was a very struggling time for me. And I was hurting. And I felt alone. I found myself, somehow Steve Harvey popped on my phone and he said this thing about vision. And I always thought vision was this woo-woo thing. I didn't think it was real, even though I taught people how to do vision. There was like the way I was teaching it was not the way that was aligned to. And the interesting thing that happened in that moment is a video popped up and he said, write 200 things down you want. And I was sitting in my car in Manhattan, sitting in my car. I had my laptop. I literally had nowhere to stay that night. I was multiple places I was going to stay at friends' places. And in that moment, I was just surrendered into focusing on not what I didn't want, but what I wanted, what was possible. And I sat there and I journaled everything I wanted, my relationship and my health and my body, things I didn't have. And I'm going to show a document on screen here. Some of the things I wrote down actually went before I put this workshop together, and I found it. And I categorized it. Like I was like, I'm going all in. My life isn't working like in the way I wanted it to. So I wrote it down, and it's hard to read it right now, but I wrote down my dreams. It came to 10 pages. I didn't stop till I had 200 things. I had a category for my kids. I want to take my kids to the most amazing vacations and they'll never forget. Everything inside here that is yellow in the last 3 years I've created. Relationship, I just got out of a 13-year relationship and it wasn't working. And I manifested and created a relationship I wanted. And everything you read here is the relationship I have today, which is my lovely partner, Kendra, who is also here on the Zoom. I want to take my kids, I have my kids, a house for my kids set up. I wanted my kids to call me every single day. My son, Lucas, I wanted that, my kids to call me. And I created that because I wrote it down. And I didn't even look at this for weeks ago. You can take the slide down. So again, the point I share this with you is because we're going to go on a break. This is going to be called a limitless vision break. By doing what I'm going to share with you here in a moment, it's going to have the ability for you to get in touch with what you truly want, what you want. Writing it down, we're going to take 10 minutes. And I want you to get in touch with everything you want. Obviously, take a bar break. If you got to go to the bathroom, that's fine, but come back because in 10 minutes, we're going to share some of these things. Write down as many things as possible. If there were no limits inside of your life, being honest with yourself, what do you want? Nothing's off limits. The sky, whatever you want. You want an airplane? Fine. Allow yourself to go there. Allow yourself to dream. Because I know some of you haven't maybe dreamed in years. You may not allow yourself to go there. This might be the first time that you allow yourself to focus on what you want. And I honor you if that's you. So we'll take a 10-minute break. There'll be some music. Come back on, cameras on so we can see you. And we'll take that break. We'll come back and we'll put some music on as well. We'll see you in 10 minutes. All right, we will dim the music and bring us all back on. Well done, everybody. And creating your limitless vision, what you actually want. Great job. We're going to step into connection. That's our next step, going from vulnerability to connection. Connecting with what you want. We've already started that process. Now, I like to take a few shares. Let's connect with your vision of what you want. If you want to share a couple things on your list and then what you learned and discovered about yourself, we will take a few shares. Who would like to share? Raise your hand. And I'll ask Kendra, who has their hand up.
Darren has his hand up.
Okay.
Darren, come on up.
Just for purposes, because it's hard, I can't see. We'll have raise your hand up with your hand so I can see that as well. Darren, thanks for coming back up. Darren,
Hey,
we'd love to hear. What did you write down and what did you discover for yourself?
Well, I discovered like there's lots of things I want for me, but past that, there's things I want for my kids. There's things I want to leave behind, you know. So some of the things I wrote down was generational wealth, financial abundance, love, adoration, to be an inspiration, a role model. Now some of the fun stuff, to star in a Marvel movie. I want an Oscar. I want to travel the world. I want to get healthy. I want to be fit. Definitely want rock hard abs. I want to be a working A-list actor. That's my dream. That's my passion. I love doing film. I love performing. I want to reignite my ambitions. Continue to be driven. And I think that's about it. That's about all I got.
Well, I acknowledge you, man, like just for owning it, like owning what you want and writing it down and getting clear on it. Because if you're clear on what you want, then you can move forward to go in that direction. So I honor you for sharing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's take another share. Who would like to share maybe things on their list, what they want, or things you can learn about yourself by putting this down and writing what you actually want. Let's take another share. And we'll look around. Just again, raise your hand here, just like this, so I can see you. Talis, love to have you. Come on, go ahead and unmute yourself. Love to hear from you.
All right.
What you'd like to share.
Yeah, I think like I'd like to share a realization that I just came across right now. And it kind of ties well with like vulnerability. I figured out that I kind of lied, or I lied to myself a lot about the things that I truly want. Based on, could be society, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. It could be what you're allowed to do, right? Or at least this idea that the world kind of paints to us in many different ways. So I realized that like there's a lot of stuff that I thought I wanted, and that's not what I wanted, but somebody else wanted for me, but I had them on my list.
Wow, it's powerful.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of liberating, to be honest. Right? It's kind of like getting out of that prison that we talk about a lot. It's like, hey, you feel like you're behind bars, and then you can't realize why. And it's because you're pretending, like to somebody else here that shared earlier, right? It's like that facade that he shared with us. It's like that constant pretending to be what it's not, pretending to want what you don't, pretending, all this pretending going on.
Yeah. I'm hearing that you just the revelation that there's what other people want for you and what you think society is right and showing up a certain way in society is what is right, what you want, but it's what does Talis truly want? Like what matters to you? And you got
Yeah, lately, based on everything that I've been through over the past, and you know me like very closely over the past couple years, I only want one thing, Pat, which is the ability to stay true to my word. It's like no matter what Talis says, I want to be able to get to a point where I always do that. Right? It's like, hey, I'm going to walk around the block. So I go out there and I do it. Hey, I'm going to I don't know, go to the gym for the rest of my life every single day. I go out there and I do it. I'm going to be the best dad that someone can be to my daughter. It's her birthday today, 10th birthday. So I'm going to go out there and do that. Right? It's like I'm going to be the best friend someone can be or ask for. So it's like always keep my word.
So I'm hearing integrity. Like you want to live in authentic integrity, being your word.
Yeah. Right. It's like, hey, I think if I narrow everything down to one thing, all I need, at least for me, Talis, is do the things I say I'm going to. Always, all the time, non-negotiable. Just do it.
And what would be possible for you if you step into that?
Anything, man. Like there's literally like no limit, right? So I know like right now I'm so flawed and I have so many bad qualities, and I feel like I achieved so much over the past 2 years, having all these bad qualities, all the defects, not staying true to my word sometimes, and behaving in a way that sometimes it's not acceptable, and doing all these things, and I achieved so much. Imagine if I just shifted that to, hey, always doing it and always keeping that word and always doing the things that I say I will. I can't even imagine. It's like mind-boggling.
And so what, Talis, I love this and I appreciate you sharing. What gets in the way of you being in integrity, being your word and doing what you say you're going to do? Like what's the limitation?
For me, I think my limitation is more not understanding what I truly really want. Right. So to the point, like kind of having this gray area where everything is kind of, I don't know, conglomerated here in one thing, and I'm not aware what I want, what I don't want. I like awareness. I like that understanding, right? So like becoming truly taking that mask off and being like, hey, listen, let's see. Let's say I say something tangible here. Let's say I always used to say that I wanted to help my family back, let's say, not close family, like my mom, my dad, my daughter, my 2 sisters. That's not what I'm referring to. I meant in general. And that's not true. It isn't true. I feel like more inclined to help my friends, for example, that were side by side with me than I feel to helping some of my family members. But based on society, it's like family first, right? So it's like I have like this mud waters going on where I never took the time to really understand who Talis actually is to be able to separate the both. Be like, oh, this is what I want. So I think the belief or what's really truly holding me back is just not taking the time to analyze myself and understanding who I am, understanding what's important, making a decision, commit to it, and then do the work.
Man, that was so powerful to hear you. Like, I hear like you're so crystal clear that now it's time to like focus on what does Talis want? Like, what do you want? Stepping into you and declaring it and owning it and going in that direction and never looking back, because you know everything in your life that you want. When you're clear on it, it's limitless and you can create whatever you want quickly, faster than you can imagine. And I know you. But what if you could just take that like one thing you truly want and like stick with that one thing and then run with it. Declare it, commit, go. Declare it, commit, go. Imagine what's possible for you, man.
Yeah. I know, Pat.
Yeah.
All right.
So I
We
appreciate
both
you
know.
coming on and being courageous to share in front of everybody tonight.
Of course.
All
Yeah,
right.
my pleasure.
Yeah. So who else here can relate to Talus on society, of what society thinks we should be or do, right? Which is the way we show up, which is a mask. Who can relate to Talus's share? Raise your hand. Yeah, me too. Me too. In fact, this is where we're going to go. Is if you look at my list, let's bring up my list, that document that I just shared with you, what I want. Something interesting that I learned and noticed about my list. There were things that I wanted that were things. They were things. They were not things I truly wanted, my heart wanted. Yes, I wanted a house for my children, but it's not what I truly wanted. Yes, I wanted, to take my kids to Disney World. I wanted my kids to tell me I'm the best dad in the world. I want to be wanted. You can take the slide down. But what I really wanted, my heart really truly wanted, was quality time and presence with my kids. I was afraid my kids wouldn't love the real me. That's what my heart got in touch with. I didn't know that my kids would love just me. So I thought I needed vacations. I thought I needed trips. I thought I needed things. You can look on my Facebook over the years. Many years ago, it was things. I was afraid they wouldn't accept me. My heart truly wanted connection with my kids, to see them, to be seen. How many of you have a challenge sometimes in your life that you're afraid of connection, to be seen, to see others, to allow you to love, to give love, and to receive love? How many of you have struggled with that or have struggled with that in the past? Show of hands. Yeah. Well, I'd love to take a share of what comes up for you. Like where does that show up for you that you might struggle for yourself with being seen or allow others to see you when it comes to creating authentic connection? We'd love to hear a share. Who would like to share? Raise your hand. Kendra, if you can.
Lilia, is that am I saying that correctly? Lilia?
Yeah, Julia.
Amazing. Yes.
We would love to have you share.
Hi,
Julia.
Yeah. Hi. I want to share, but I want to tell my English not so good because I'm from Ukraine, and like I only learn my English, and for me it's be so hard to say and write what I want because I'm not sure this is what I want, and like I think I want this because like I have some problem. What maybe it's possible I just have this problem, but it's disability and it's impossible fix it this. And like I can control my body control me, but like before this I have different life, but it's been a lot of years ago. I have my like dream, but like now I don't know how to live with this. Like I'm like I try to do my best, but like doctor says it's impossible, fixes it. And how and I'm live with this, like, and how we need to have like my dream. Maybe I'm not sure it's my dream, not sure this is what I want. I think it's I want this because I can have this. Like this bothers me.
I heard you say you want this, but you can't have this. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have epilepsy, and I'm not born with this, and this not genetic epilepsy. And it's like happen and be like teenager. Like before I have great life, great memory, and after it's be like it's killed my life. Really, I'm alive, still alive, but it's killed my life. I'm want to be actress. I have dream. I'm only finished my school. I'm be so happy. I'm never do anything bad. I'm believe God. I'm be like great daughter, and like bam, and this has happened, and like I don't know, like so difficult understand who I am. Maybe I'm lazy person. Maybe me comfortable be like this depressive. Now I'm not sure. It's like I want to be like person with disability, or me comfortable be person with disability. You know, like, or I can't do this because like. It's like I scared, or it's like this is what I'm really want. I always want to be not happy that I'm because I'm scared, or I'm lazy. I don't know, or maybe it's because I have epilepsy and after my surgery I can do like a lot of things. I don't know.
Yeah, thank you for being brave enough to share about this. I mean, it's courageous for you to share of the actual physical limitation that's showing up for you. It must be challenging. And
yeah, and nobody, like only my parents and couple my friends know I have this disability. Before I have a lot of friends, I'm be so friendly, and now I close my life with another person. I doesn't share it, like my grandmother doesn't know I have this. You know, like a lot of close my person doesn't know this, and I need like smile and like I can't tell this. I don't know. I'm scared, and people doesn't understand. And with my country, like thinking, oh, maybe like maybe you have this, like it's not good for maybe people like doesn't understand you.
Yeah. So I'm hearing other people don't understand. You haven't told
Yeah.
them.
Now and like I'm scared. Have new friend, or like I'm more private. This like it changed my life and my dreams also. I understand this, but like I want to understand what we do, who I am now.
Yeah.
I think I want have family. I want have kids. I want doesn't have my epilepsy, but it's impossible. Like, and what maybe like normally I need to live all my life with this, but what maybe me doesn't have this, and what I need to do, like maybe one time doctor tell me, oh, like you like perfect now, and what me do, like I'm be scared because now it's possible I do everything. What maybe I scared this.
Yeah. So I hear you. I want you to know that you're heard, and I see you, and I understand there's a physical limitation. I'm going to ask you, besides the physical limitation, what does your heart truly want in your life? One thing, like what's the one big thing that your heart truly wants?
I want my mother stop to be alcoholic, and I want adopted kids, and I won't have my twin kids.
Wow. That's amazing. Yeah. So that's what your heart truly wants. And you know it, you feel that. What does that feel like to say that? What does that feel like to share that?
But you know, with my, I need to thinking about different person. It's not like, oh, I won't buy something because I have my disability. Like, what maybe my kids doesn't love me, or what maybe something happened and like kids die, or I can't do this, you know, like because I love or already love and respect another person, I can't do this life like torture. This why like it's I want like every kid need to have amazing life. I doesn't want broke this, you know, and like this why I'm like always confused and not sure about like.
Here's what I invite you to do. What you share with me, you said what your heart truly wants is kids, is that right? And a family?
Yeah.
So I want you to stick with that. I invite you to stick with that. And we're going to go back out into the gallery, and we're going to do an exercise together about creating truly what you want. Like, what is it that you truly want? And for me, like I shared, what I thought I wanted was all these things. Now go ahead and take us back to the gallery. There we go. It's not the things I wanted. It was the quality time. It was for me to be with my kids. So we're going to do something called the web of connection. We're going to create a web of connection with each other. And the way it's going to look is I'm going to have a ball in my hand. I'm going to pass this imaginary yarn. And I'm going to pass it to somebody. So someone's going to catch it. I'm going to say your name. And when you catch the ball, you're going to answer the question of what you truly want, what your heart truly wants. Not anything on the list, the do's, the things, the big things, like all that's great and you deserve that and you will achieve that if you truly want it. But what does your heart truly want? And then why does it matter? So we'll start this. We'll do just a couple and then we'll go into breakout rooms as well. So I'm going to pass out this ball of yarn. We're going to throw it around and I'm going to throw it to somebody on screen. Juliet White, you get the yarn here passed to you. First person.
Okay, what do I truly want? It's difficult.
What does your heart truly want, Juliet, in this moment?
I want more time with my kids. There's about a year left before my youngest goes to college. That would be what I would truly want.
And why does that matter?
Because once they go on their own, things change and they get to have their own beautiful life and they get to live, not worry about their mother. But then, yeah, they can come home and visit, but it's never the same. It's not like our little family unit is now. It's not bad. It's just going to be different. And I love I love our little small family unit and what it is.
Thank you for sharing. And you get to pass that ball of yarn to somebody else.
I pass it to Jessie, her name.
And I also invite everybody to turn your cameras on. We want to see you. This is about connection. To live limitless, it takes connection, radical connection with yourself, being you and being seen and others to see you. This is what this is all about. This is why we're here. So we love to have your cameras on. And who's next?
I believe the ball of yarn was passed to me.
All right, Jesse.
So, I mean, yeah, what I truly want in my heart is, well, I first, my go-to was to have a successful business, but then when I go into the why, it's a couple things. It's to obtain security, financial security for sure, but also to be able to provide for those I care about, you know? Let's say for my parents eventually. And yeah, my sisters, you know, for me and mine, for sure.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing and opening up. And who would you like to pass the ball to?
Let's go with Levy Beglin.
Thanks, Jesse. God, I was actually hoping that you would pick me. This one, like the one thing that really just comes up from my heart is I want to be out of my head. I want to be out of my head. I want to have that freedom to be able to just let go of things. And so this way I can stop getting in my own way. That's what I want.
And why does that matter, Levy?
It matters because I feel for me that I keep holding myself back. And it matters to me because I listen to the lies that I tell myself within the conversations that I have within myself. So what I really want is to just have that freedom to just let go of the things that really don't matter, and hold on to the things that does.
Beautiful. I appreciate you sharing very much. And who would you like to pass the ball to?
I would like to pass the ball to Suzanne Taylor.
Thank you. What my heart wants for my life is to prioritize myself instead of putting everyone else before me and then saying that I don't have enough time for the things that I really want, mostly like health wise. And what the follow-up is what I see possible.
So I hear, Suzanne, that you want to prioritize your healthcare, your health. Why does that matter to you?
That matters because this feels silly, but because I matter.
Yes.
Because
yes, you do.
And I think where I'm stuck, or what I often sit in, is that like the self-pity story of like, oh, but you know, that's important too. How come, like, that's important? How can I neglect something else that's important to say that I'm more important? I just get wrapped in there's a lot of important things. But I think ultimately what it comes down to is like, I'm the most important.
Yeah. And that's enough. Like just that alone is enough. Nothing after that, right? Because that's huge. It's massive. So thank you. Who would you like to pass to?
April.
April.
There it is. So I think what I ultimately want is more connection with my kids, my family, deeper relationships with friendships, spiritual community, and a connection in that looks like service. So those, it all comes down to that. I
April,
looked at the list of all the things.
I love your list. What's the one big thing? I invite you to share the one big thing your heart truly wants. What is that one thing?
To be more connected to people.
Why does it matter?
Why does it matter? Being connected. Oh, well, I guess there's a loneliness and an inauthenticity of, or maybe a boundary or border that I'm putting up and not opening more.
Wow. I felt your heart when you shared that. That was real. Thank you for sharing. Powerful. Who would you like to pass the ball to?
How about John Stegall?
Thank you. Wow. I mean, what comes to my heart is I want a world where every single one of my students walks across the stage. They graduate and they survive and they thrive and they flourish. I have a few cases. I'm a high school principal, and there's a couple of cases of kids who did not make it this year, and due to violence in the community, things they encounter. And I'm actually principal of it's called the Afrocentric School in Columbus, and so I really take a powerful stand for all of my kids. It's a majority African American Black school, and so my purpose, my mission for the time that I'm there is to ensure all of them succeed. All of them have an equitable chance to survive and flourish and thrive in a society where the odds, the deck is really stacked against them. And I see it on a daily basis. I experience that. And we work through those challenges together, my staff and I, administration, teachers. And so that's where my heart is in this moment. And that's what I powerfully feel.
And John, why does that matter to you?
It matters to me because they look like me. They are me. Every one of my students, I see myself in them.
Yeah.
And so what happens to them affects me. What happens to them affects my family. What happens to them affects the community. Not just African people, but everyone. We're all connected. We're all connected, Patrick. And so that's where my heart is. That's what I see. And that's what I feel very powerfully. And
Wow, I feel that. Yeah, thank you for sharing very much and coming on here. So we're going to pass the ball into breakout rooms. We'll all share. Three of you will share for 5 minutes each. We'll continue passing the ball, this web of connection we're creating, and just sharing simply, what does your heart truly want? And why does it matter? And we'll break out. We'll be back in 5 minutes. We'll see you all soon on the other side.
Today you can put me in a room.
Okay, Julia, you want to go to the room?
Yeah, I'll go to a room. Thank you for pausing for me.
You're welcome. Let me see which room.
Somewhere that might need a mentor or something, I can pop in.
Okay.
Woohoo, Ozday. Freaking rock star. You did it.
Okay, Madeline did not go. Why?
Madeline, are you there?
Ruth Tremblay is in the waiting room.
Matt, I'm just wondering if she got stuck somewhere in the.
I don't know.
Let her be. Hi, Ruth.
Okay, I'm going to the breakout room.
Go break. Actually, I'll go too. Since I don't have anything to do. It's so great.
Do you want me to send you to a breakout room, Ruth? You're mute.
How long until they come back from breakout?
About 5 minutes, I guess. 5-10 minutes. 5 minutes, I guess.
What's the breakout question?
What does your heart really want? And something like that. Do you want to stay here?
I'll come back in 10 minutes and join the room.
Okay.
I'll just leave and come back in 10 minutes. I don't want to do the breakout room. I'll come back and join afterwards because then I can just join in.
Okay. See you then.
I love you.
Love you too.
recorded.
Hey, Tony, they're just in breakout rooms. They'll be coming back in just a couple minutes. Okay.
Yeah, I got Levi got kicked out of mine, and I'm not sure what happened to the other person that was in there. So we were in room 13. So I lost Levi. I lost him.
Well, they're here. They're right here. I think they're just all coming in. You guys can all hang out here.
Okay. I lost you there for a minute.
I did not realize my computer was on low, so it died on me. I do apologize.
No problem. So what else did you want? I didn't let you share with me. Go ahead.
So what I heard from you, though, I just wanted to go back with you, was that you wanted to reinvent yourself. You wanted to be able to connect and help others. So that was really amazing. Thank you for that, Cher.
Thank you.
I guess it looks like we're going back.
Coming back.
Yeah, I think we're going back now.
Yeah. At least I got to hear yours, Tony.
All right, we get everyone back. It looks like from the breakout rooms. Welcome back, everybody. Good to see you all. Breakout rooms opening up. Okay. We're coming through. Okay. Let's see. Do we have everyone back from breakout rooms? How's
Just
it?
a couple more seconds, they'll all come back.
Okay, they're coming through.
Here they come.
Awesome. Here we come. All right. Everyone's coming back. We are back from breakouts. Question. Did we create connection? Show of hands. Did we accomplish what we wanted to accomplish and create connection? Yes. Okay. Because in order to live limitless, it requires connection with yourself, connecting to what is, connecting to your vision, connecting to what you want, connecting to what's possible, so we can move in that direction, living limitless. So it sounds like it landed for everybody, because we're going to jump into abundance. Next is abundance. You want to stay here because we're about to go through experiences that can shift everything internally for you to manifest everything that you want and that your heart desires. We're going to go there. Who's ready to go there? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. All right, because we're going there. What does abundance mean to you? Drop in the chat. What does abundance mean to you? Let's see what comes up. Being abundant, abundance. What does it feel like? What does it look like? Drop in the chat. Everyone has different meanings of abundance. Love, unconditional love, freedom, fullness, freedom, gratitude, growth, and God. Yes. To freedom. I hear freedom. And what gets in the way of abundance? What gets in the way of you being abundant, of living abundant? What gets in the way? Drop in the chat. Let's see what we come up. Self-doubt, limitation, self-doubt, pain, fears. Got it. Worry. It gets in the way of feeling abundant, being abundant. Drop it in the chat. Negative mindset. Brian says scarcity. Scott says negative mindset. Got it. Yeah, I get it. Thank you for sharing, because this is where we're going to go. We're going to step into living abundance by experiencing abundance. I'm going to share with you a time in my life. Man, I was in pretty dark scarcity. I'm going to tell you a story. Quick story here. 2020, I went to an event, and I'm going to share a slide here. Anyone know Tony Robbins? Raise your hand. Tony Robbins? Yeah, Tony Robbins fans. Went to an event. And I went there, and I had no money. Nobody knew. I put on a facade. I was afraid to be myself and tell the truth that I was struggling. I had no place to stay that night. I felt like a fraud, felt disconnected, and then scarcity, wondering if I was going to make it through the day. Tony Robbins did this meditation that shifted something inside me. Something shifted. I cried for the first time. It was so powerful because I needed a shift. I needed to shift my doubt and worry into love and abundance. And something happened that night. And go ahead and take the slide off. That night, I was so desperate for money that I was massaging on the side just to make money because I was in the survival mode. I put up an ad, did a massage. The guy in Tennessee, I scheduled a half hour, but I did an hour because I was desperate for money. I walked down the stairs and I demanded the money. And he said, I'm only paying you for half an hour. And I was like, no, I need it now. And I demanded it. You know what he did? He whipped out a gun, loaded, and pointed at my face. And all I could think about is my daughter, Lorelei, without a father. And in that moment, I thought I was going to die. I ran up to him, tackled his arms, and I remember somehow I got out of there. I just bolted out. And the only thing that I knew in that moment was to be grateful. And I used the recording from Tony Robbins, and I listened to it in the airport. Go ahead and show the slide. And I posted this on Facebook because the only way I knew how to be was in gratitude in that moment. And that was a picture on the left side I took the same day that this happened. And I took this picture because it was the first moment that gratitude changed everything for me. Gratitude, I learned in that moment, was the appreciation for everything there was. I had a beat up car. There was no door on my car and I had to put it back on. My kids were in there in 2020. I was grateful. I was a flight attendant for Delta Airlines, making $20,000 a year and having my coaching business. I was grateful because I needed medical benefits. I was grateful to be 2020 post-divorce in a dark, I couldn't see, it was dark, and it was, my kids came over, it was all dark everywhere. And you know what? I was grateful. And slide down. Gratitude changed my life because I allowed it to be. I used to push it off. Like, oh, gratitude's woo-woo. Anyone ever thought gratitude was woo-woo before? Or maybe you think it now, raise your hand. If you ever thought about it in the past, it's not real. Yeah, some of you. So I share this because I want to share with you this gift of gratitude. Because abundance, what I'm hearing is love. Abundance, what I'm hearing from you all is a state of freedom. Who wants to feel freedom? Raise your hand. Who wants to feel freedom right now in this moment? Okay. It's available at any moment, any time. Abundance is a choice. Abundance is a choice. To live limitless, it's a choice, and we're going to create it right now together. So I'm going to ask you to close your eyes and take a deep breath, and we're going to shift into a powerful meditation. If you allow it to shift internally inside of you, allow it to sink into your heart, it will support you in living limitless. Close your eyes. Make yourself comfortable. Close your eyes. Keep them closed during the duration of this meditation. And take a deep breath. And as you exhale, release any tension that you're still holding on to or that's there, any distractions from your mind and your body. Allow yourself to arrive here in this present moment. As you move through this meditation together, we're going to tap into the energy of gratitude and allow it to expand within us to be limitless inside of our lives. Now place both hands on your heart and take a deep breath. And as you breathe deep into your heart, think of what a blessing your heart is. Yeah. Feel the sense of gratitude for the power of your heart, for the beauty of your heart, for the love of the heart and what it's done for you in your life. It gives you the gift of life. And as you breathe into this heart, I want you to think of a moment, a beautiful moment of your life right now that you can feel grateful for if you wanted to. Think of a moment. It could be from your childhood, as an adult. It could have been last week. It could be any moment. Maybe it's a meeting of a loved one, birth of a child, a relationship that you're in. I want you to step into the moment like you're there, not watching it from a distance. I want you to feel it, experience it. Feel the gratitude fill up with those beautiful feelings. That's it. That's it. And anchor this moment in of gratitude by reaching your hands out in front of you. Do that now and saying, I'm grateful for this moment. Now, with your hands on your heart, think of a second moment from your life. If you thought about it, you could be deeply grateful for in this moment. What is that moment? Could be from a month ago, 6 months ago, maybe from your childhood. Just step into that place like you're there. Yeah, that's it. Fill up with gratitude, joy, and love for that moment. Give yourself this gift. Yeah, that's it. And anchor this moment in of gratitude by reaching your hands out in front of you and saying, I am grateful for this moment. Yeah. Now I want you to think of something that you can be proud of in your life. It could be anything. What are you proud of in this moment? Maybe something from your past. Bring in that moment that you can feel proud of. Visualize that moment. What is that proud moment? Breathe the way you do when you feel proud. Along with that gratitude, bring it together. Yeah, that's it. Now I want you to think of something that you've accomplished in your life. What have you accomplished? A memory. Oh, I accomplished this, small or big. Something that you accomplished, something you achieved. Bring that moment into your heart along with the gratitude. Bring it together. Feel that moment of accomplishment. Wow. Yeah. Now I want you to think of a moment in a relationship. Maybe it was a sexy moment or a sensual moment. What did that look like? What was that moment? Allow yourself to go there. Something that is sensual or sexy. Remember that moment. Wow. Bring it alive into this existence. Who is it with? What was that moment? Now stand up. And while keeping your eyes closed, yes, everybody stand up. We're going to get some movement. Keeping your eyes closed, grab a moment from your future that's coming, something you're excited about, a moment of whatever it was that's coming in the future, something you know your heart truly wants. Grab that moment, bring it into your heart, something in the future you can feel so excited about because you are limitless. What is that moment you're grateful for that's coming? Breathe it, feel it, feel the excitement and the feeling of this moment that is coming. And I want you to build up all the gratitude, all the excitement that we have created here, all this energy. I want you with me here and really be like a kid. Let this build up inside of you. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to make a sound, yes, as loud as you can. A sound that's filled with joy, excitement, gratitude. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Just fully express it. Playfulness, enjoyment. Make the sound. When you're excited, bring it into your body. On a count of 3, we're going to make that sound. Ready? With your hands in the air. 1, 2, 3, hands up in the air. Make the sound when you are excited, as loud as you can. Feel that energy. Let out a sigh, whatever that sound is, whatever it looks like. Let it out. 1, 2, 3, one more sound. Feel the energy. Feel what radiates through your body. Feel the energy radiate from top to bottom. This is you. Limitless. Abundance. Gratitude. You are the gift. You are a masterpiece. Yes. Feel that energy. Breathe that energy. And with your eyes still closed, you can sit back down or you can stand back up. Visualize all that moments of gratitude you experience merging into your heart one at a time. Then let them sink into your heart and feel the love and the joy of appreciation that radiates into your beingness, into your existence, and feel the light that's within you. This light signifies gratitude that you are enough. Let this light spread throughout your body. Now you are in a beautiful state, a magnificent state, a state of gratitude. And while you're in this state, touch your heart. Give thanks to this heart. Yes, feel so grateful. So grateful. Now think of all the limitations that we went through earlier in this workshop that showed up. What are those limitations? Remember them right now. And just finish this sentence from your heart, not from your head. All I need to do when those limitations show up in my life, all I need to remember about myself is what? Your heart knows the answer. Breathe into your heart. And again, just finish the sentence. When fear, whatever limitation shows up in my life to create what I truly desire, all I need to do when those limitations show up in my life, all I need to remember about myself is what? What do you need to remember yourself at your core of who you are? And when you know the answer, with your eyes closed, raise your right hand in the sky. Do it now. If you know the answer, if you know what you need to focus on, what you need to remember about you, keep your hand in the air. Raise your right hand as soon as you know. And when you got it, it comes to you. When you've got it and it comes to you, open your eyes. Music down. Look in the room with all the other people around you who have the answers to what they need to remember about themselves in order to live limitless. Who would like to share what came up for them and what they get to remember about themselves? What do you get to remember about yourself when that limitation shows up? Who would like to share? Raise your hand.
Like Vicky would like to share.
Vicky, yeah, I'd love to have you share.
That I'm limitless and that I have the courage to do anything I want.
Yes, you do. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. I always like to share. What do you need to remember? What do you get to remember about yourself when the limitations show up? Scott, I see your hand up. Come on up. Love to hear from you.
Yep. So what I get to remember is that I am joy, I am happiness, I'm playful, and when I remember those things, then I show up. I show up that way, and it removes the limitations from not showing up inauthentically and not powerful.
Yeah, that's who you are. You are
Yeah, that's
joy,
who I
and
am.
I know you, and I experience you of joy. When you're in joy, I see you.
Yeah.
Right. Because
Yep.
that's who you are. It's powerful.
Yes.
So thank you for
Yes.
sharing. Who else would like to share? What else? What do you need to remember about yourself? When stuff comes up, when we're creating our life, when we're moving forward, what came up for you in the meditation that you get to remember about yourself? Michael. Zoom user Michael Jones. Hi, brother.
Hi. Yeah. Hi, Michael. That I'm worth it, and that like I'm powerful and strong, and that like the things that I've gone through in my life have been a miracle to even be here. You know, at 19 I was in a coma, and it's just like I kind of went back there, and I got out of it, and I decided to make a life for myself, including being sober for 9 years. And I just want more from myself. And that's the biggest thing I've gotten out of this, is that I'm loved, and that like I'm worth like who I am and who I want to be.
Michael, I honor you for sharing. What I'm hearing deep underneath all that is you are worthy. I am worthy. You're worthy of love because you are love.
Thank you.
You are enough. Thank you for sharing. Celebrity chef Tenori. Love to hear from you. Come off mute.
Sorry. Hello, you awesome kids. Celebrity chef here.
Tenori, what do you get to remember about yourself? What came up for you in that moment in the meditation?
What came up for me was that I have every tool and skill that I need to create anything I wish. So versus looking outside of me through people, through actions, through praise or acceptance or anything outside of me, people pleasing, yeah, I have it all inside of me, and I don't need to look outside of me for anything, for God has blessed me with the tools and skills that I need to create.
Powerful.
Where I need to create.
Yeah.
And just trust myself.
Yeah, just trust yourself. Yeah. Because why? Because you were what?
Because I'm limitless.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
So I acknowledge all of you for allowing yourselves to go there. It may be challenging for some of you to do the meditation and allow yourself to go there, but I just want to acknowledge all of you for doing that. And the gift is you, the real you, the authentic you, the powerful you. And sometimes we have difficulty owning that. That's who we are. And gratitude is the ability to shift anytime you doubt into love, because love always wins. And what we want to do now is we're going to shift into acknowledgements. Particularly the last final exercise for the night is the gift. You recognized that we are the gift, you are the gift. And so we're going to do an exercise where we're going to share the gift that we see in each other here. Okay, we'll have two people come up. My support team will just show what this looks like. Support team, if you want to come up, we're going to share what the exercise looks like. It'll be 60 seconds. You're going to share the gift I see in you is, and then you're going to acknowledge the other person and the gift you see in them, because the gift in gratitude is giving it away. There's an abundance of gratitude in the world, and the more we give it away, the more we get it back, and the more abundance we create to live limitless. So where's my support team? I can't see y'all. Oh, we got Amy. Okay. And Azadeh. All right. They're going to support me. They'll do like a mini version just for time's sakes for tonight. The gift I see in you. And then Azadeh will go first with Amy. And then Amy will go to Azadeh. And we will begin.
Amy, the gift I see in you is beauty. The gift I see in you is generosity, connection, love, confidence, abundance. The gift I see in you is resilience. The gift I see in you is connection, so much connection, and so much love.
Thank you. I receive. Thank you, Azadeh. Azadeh, beautiful Azadeh. The gift I see in you is passion, power, freedom, Wonder Woman, possibility, empowering, inspiring, amazing, glorious, beautiful, badass, finger master. You are, sister. My experience of you is beauty, joy, connection, and love. I am complete. I love you.
I receive. Thank you.
That was perfectly done the way it came out. And what I noticed is it came out from your heart. Like we want to go to the head, right? It's like we want to think about what to say, but this is where we're going to come from here, whatever pours out in that 30 seconds. So let me make sure I can see everybody. There we go. We're going to shift into breakout rooms and you're just going to share for 60 seconds. Yes, 60 seconds. What is the gift that you see in the person in the breakout room in front of you? Even though you met them for the first time, you've got to know them, you experienced them in some way, shape, or form here. What's the gift I see in you? And then they will do another person, and then we'll go for 7 minutes this time, and we'll wrap up the evening here. 7 minutes, one person, 3 people each, 6 minutes, and I'll give you an extra minute just to make sure everyone goes. So we will break out. What is the gift you see in the other person? And we will jump off and be back in 7 minutes. We'll see you then.
Brandon, I'm sending you to a breakout room. Did you get the message?
I'm on a cell phone. That may be the problem. I have very unstable internet where I'm at. Can you hear me?
Hey, Brandon and Shane, just so you guys know, if you're in here and you can hear me, everybody else is in breakout rooms. They're coming back in just a couple of minutes, so we'll be back here in the room, okay?
All right, everyone's back. Welcome back from the breakout rooms. Wow, how was that? We have time for one share. What was it about abundance and sharing the gift of gratitude that opened up for you? Like, what opened up for you from sharing this gift with another person? What opened up for you? Who would like to share? Raise your hand. Let's see. Who has a burning desire to share that is not shared yet? We would love to hear from you. If you know you want to share, but you don't want to share, but you know you want to share, raise your hand, because that's the person we want to hear from. Who is it?
So what was the question again, Patrick? I want to make sure I'm answering it correctly.
What was it about abundance and sharing the gift of gratitude? What is about it? What it opened up for you by sharing that gift to another person? And
Yeah, I think what happened with me sharing that gift and being vulnerable with someone else, it made me realize that I'm not much different than everyone else, and everyone else has different problems, and it's all about having a specific like discipline to overcoming that problem. And they come at us in different areas of our life at different times in different forces, but it just comes down to how we handle it, because we all see the same things.
Yeah. I acknowledge you for sharing what's on your heart in this moment.
Yeah.
Chris, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Who gets to have this gift of gratitude? Who do you get to give it to in your life? What relationship do you
Yeah.
get to give this gift to and acknowledge?
I think it's more importantly my family, my friends, the individuals around me that have my best interest in mind, because I think those are people that ultimately deserve that gift. People that were there like before you even had anything, people that were with you whenever you're going through your struggles, but also people that help you climb the path, right? So I think that's essential.
Yeah. So I heard you say friends and family.
Yeah.
Who's the one that you get to acknowledge, give the gift to, that you did in the breakout room? Who gets that gift? Who's that one person?
Probably my brother.
What's his name?
Nick.
Nick.
Yeah.
What would that be like to give him the gift and share what you see in him?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. I think it would not only change my life, but the people around me, not only two of us, but like more like what I was talking about in the breakout room. Like if everyone's together and if everyone understands each other and it's teamwork, then the more lives you can change, the better outcomes you can have. So
yeah, amazing. Yeah, we'll do one more quick share. Who would like to share is the gift of gratitude, what opened up for them inside the breakout room? Anyone like to share?
I'll share.
Kendra, go for it.
So what I realized, just to simplify things, when I'm in gratitude, it takes me out of the ego and into the heart. And then my problems don't seem so bad. And I'm focusing on how incredible everyone else is, like thanking your team for how phenomenal they have been to support you through this journey of your program. And it's so, I mean, without them, like you would have done a beautiful job. And then with them, it's been this like incredible journey and then some. But the point of saying this is that, again, out of the head, I got to briefly thank them, out of the head into the heart, because that is where the space opens up, that this isn't about me. It's about when you look out, right? And so I wanted to share the burning desire very quickly, because I know we're on a time crunch. After that meditation that you so eloquently guided, when I'm limitless is when I am in my heart, where there are no boundaries, in my soul, where it's infinite. It's in my head is when I'm limited. Right. And
wow.
that is like, it hit me during your, I mean, I've known that subconsciously, but when you were doing it, I was like, oh my God. So anytime I want to feel limitless, I'm just going to do something to get into my heart. Right. Like, I know this, we all know this, but like, it really hit me. And I'm like, whether that's dancing, gardening, whatever it is, that is where we're limitless. Right.
Kendra,
So,
I hear you. The biggest thing I'm hearing, and I think all of you all can hear this too, is that when you are in your head, when we are in our heads, we're limited. When we're in our hearts, we're limitless. Wow. Who else can relate to that? Raise your hand. Oh my God, that's amazing. The way you put it is so eloquent and true and real. So thank you. There's the infinity sign. So we're going to land this plane. We've covered a lot tonight. And I want to have you close your eyes here in a moment. And we're going to land and wrap up the whole experience. It's all going to make sense in about 7 minutes. So close your eyes, take a moment, take a deep breath. We'll do one final meditation and we'll come home together. Close your eyes. I will ask you for the last few hours to just reflect. Last 3 hours, we've gone on a journey through living limitless. We've gone through vulnerability. We've talked about connection and abundance and how they can support you inside your life. Now, I want you to imagine connection like a bridge that connects you to other islands. One island represents you and the other islands around you. These islands represent everything in your entire life. Everything. Your job, your health, your happiness, your quality of life, everything. And what truly matters to you and what your heart truly desires. And these islands around you also represent the most important people in your life that you want to connect with. And even deeper, these islands represent the parts of you that make up all the beautiful qualities of who you are. The fun part of you, the excited part of you, the loving part of you, all the emotions that we don't want to feel. Yeah, all the emotions. It's you. It's you. And in order to connection to happen, we have to allow ourselves to be seen for who we are. And when we embrace vulnerability, it creates a strong bridge of connection, a bridge that connects us, our island, with all the other islands around us. Because what makes us vulnerable makes us beautiful. Yeah. And the more we are connected to ourselves and allow others to be seen and to see us, the more we live limitless every single day. And by being vulnerable, it creates that strong big bridge of connection to everything around us and allows us to live abundantly in our lives, from living from the place of I am enough. That you already are a masterpiece, that you are the gift in this life. And vulnerability and connection and abundance, what we experience tonight, to live limitless, to be limitless, are the birthplace of joy, of love and creativity, and can be our superpowers if we embrace them, if we allow them. They allow us to live limitless every single day. Choosing vulnerability over disconnection is a choice we get to make moment to moment. Choosing limitless over any limitation is a choice every single day, starting today for you. Tomorrow, another moment, choosing limitless over any limitation. The next hour, the next day, the next week, it's a choice. Because life is a series of storms. We're either going into a storm, in a storm, or coming out of a storm. And when we combine the power of choosing vulnerability, connection, and abundance every single day, every single moment, they create an unbreakable bridge that can withstand all the storms of life. All the challenges that come our way that we know are going to happen, they're going to show up, but it's an unbreakable bridge with all three superpowers that are within you by choice, by choosing it. Yeah, feel that. So you can not just live limitless, but be it. Because living limitless is a journey. We're all on together. I'm on with you together. It's not a destination. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Take a deep breath in. And exhale and open your eyes. And take a look at what's on the screen. Slide before that. landing the plane. There it is. Look at this. Limitless life. As you see here in the middle is vulnerability. It starts with you being honest where you are. We experienced that tonight. And when you're honest where you are, your emotions, it connects us with others, everything around us, everything we want, everything that matters, everything our heart wants, all the relationships, that bridge connects us. And abundance is available because we choose it. We choose it. What will you choose? Slide down. What will you choose from here? What will you choose? When those limitations show up, what will you choose? Because the power of choice is the greatest power that we have to choose moment to moment every single day. The power to choose limitless greatness, power to choose connection, power to choose abundance. I'm choosing abundance right now. I'm in this limitation. The power of choosing vulnerability, moment to moment. And so I wanted to share this with you all. And this wraps up the whole experience tonight. Wow, it's been incredible. It's been an honor to be here with you all. It's been a pleasure to be your facilitator, to be with you, to experience it with you on this journey as we continue to strive to live limitless and be limitless. Because remember, it's a journey. It's not a destination. It's choice. So thank you so much for being here. I'm going to also thank my support team. There's like 12 of you. You see support. I have an amazing support team doing tech, slides, music, all the people that you may have seen or with support. I just want to say thank you. It means a lot to me, the way you supported me through creating this experience. And I thank you. I really do, from the bottom of my heart. And also, I'm going to put a slide up. That would be the last final slide. I'd love to hear from you. Please fill out a survey. There's actually a link. I'm going to drop it right now in the chat. Please go into the chat, click on the link. I would appreciate a survey on feedback on this experience for you. In the link, there's two things. One of them is a survey if you want to write it. The other one is if you're like, hey, I really got something from this. And Patrick, I would love to share a video about my experience. Click on the video and you're welcome to share your experience in the video. Either one, it's not a obligation, it's an invitation. I would appreciate that. So with that, we are going to wrap this up, top of the hour. Who is ready for a dance party? Yay! Let's have a little dance. Let's get a little movement before we go out. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you so much. Get off the feet and dance. Celebrate.
I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. A feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. A feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. A feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be let's do it, let's do it, and do it, and do it. Let's live it up and do it, and do it, and do it, do it, do it. Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. Cause I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good, good night. A feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good, good night. I feel tonight's the night. Hey, let's live it up. Let's live it up. I got my money. Hey, let's spin it up. Let's spin it up. Go out and smash it. Smash it. Like oh my god. Like oh my god. Jump out that sofa. Come on. Let's get off. Fill up my cup. Drink. Mazel tov. Look at her dancing. Move it, move just it. Just take it off. Let's paint the town. Paint the town. We'll shut it down. Shut it down. Let's burn the roof. And then we'll do it again. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. And do it. And do it. Let's live it up and do it. And do it. And do it. Do it. Do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Here we come. Here we go. We gotta rock. Easy come. Easy go. Now we on top. Feel the shot. Body rock. Rock it. Don't stop. Round and round. Up and down. Around the clock. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Saturday to Sunday. Get with us. You know what we say. Party every day. Party every day. And I'm feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good, good night. Feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna